October 14, 1943, 25,000 feet above Schweinfurt, Germany. Staff Sergeant Thomas Murphy stares through the Norden Bombsights telescope, hands gripping controls worth more than his house. The device in front of him, officially designated top secret, has armed guards assigned to it, vaults built for it, and orders requiring him to destroy it with thermite grenades if his B-17 goes down. The military promised this $8,000 analog computer could drop a bomb in a pickle barrel from 4 miles up. Newspapers called it America's secret weapon. Generals bet the entire daylight bombing strategy on its claimed 75-foot accuracy. Today, Murphy will discover the truth. Of 291 B-17s attacking Schweinfurt's ball-bearing factories, only 88 will hit the target zone. The rest will scatter across miles of German countryside. Despite using the world's most accurate bombsight, only 1 in 10 bombs will land within 500 feet. The mission will cost 60 bombers and 600 airmen, and barely damage the target. The Norden Bombsight was simultaneously the most overhyped weapon in World War II history and the foundation for every precision weapon that came after. This is how a Swiss watchmaker's obsession with perfection nearly cost America the war, then accidentally created the future of aerial warfare. Before we reveal how this miracle device both failed and succeeded, smash that subscribe button. Drop a like and comment which World War II technology amazes you most. This channel exposes the truth behind wartime propaganda. Now let me show you why America's most guarded secret was actually its biggest lie. 1880, Zurich, Switzerland. Carl Lucas Norden is born into a family of precision instrument makers. His father crafts watches, microscopes, and scientific instruments requiring tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. Young Carl grows up surrounded by gears, lenses, and the philosophy that perfection is achievable through meticulous engineering. By age 14, he can disassemble and rebuild a pocket watch blindfolded. By 18, he's designing improvements to optical instruments that Swiss manufacturers actually adopt. Norden studies engineering at the Federal Polytechnic Institute in Zurich, the same school Albert Einstein attended. He graduates with honors in 1904, specializing in precision mechanics and optical systems. Switzerland offers stable employment in watchmaking and scientific instruments, but Norden wants more. He wants to solve problems nobody else can solve. In 1904, he emigrates to America, arriving in New York with engineering credentials, 2 suitcases, and absolute confidence in his abilities. He finds work at the Cramp Shipbuilding Company in Philadelphia, designing naval fire control systems. This is the era when battleships are revolutionizing naval warfare, and accurately hitting targets from moving ships remains an unsolved engineering challenge. Norden approaches the problem with Swiss precision. Calculate every variable: ship movement, target movement, wind, projectile ballistics, and build a mechanical computer that solves the equations in real time. By 1911, Norden has designed gyroscopically stabilized gun sights that dramatically improve naval gunnery accuracy. The U.S. Navy notices. They recruit him to work directly on military fire control systems. During World War I, Norden becomes the Navy's go-to expert for any problem requiring precision mechanical computation. He holds dozens of patents. Officers describe him as brilliant, obsessive, and completely intolerant of imperfection. 1920. The Navy asks Norden to solve a new problem: aerial bombing. Aircraft are becoming military weapons, but dropping bombs accurately from moving planes is nearly impossible. Pilots estimate target position, guess at windage and altitude, and release bombs hoping they land somewhere useful. In 1920, bombing accuracy is measured in miles, not feet. The Navy wants better. Norden sees this as the ultimate precision mechanics challenge. An aircraft moves in 3 dimensions at 200 plus mph. The bomb falls through varying wind conditions. Gravity, air resistance, and projectile ballistics all affect trajectory. Computing the correct release point requires solving dozens of variables simultaneously, and doing it in seconds while the plane approaches the target. Most engineers would call it impossible. Norden calls it Wednesday. He begins designing what will become the most complex mechanical analog computer ever built. The device needs gyroscopes for stabilization, optical systems for target tracking, mechanical integrators for computing trajectories, and linkages to the aircraft's autopilot for automatic bomb release. Every component must work perfectly because one misalignment of 1/1000th of an inch will cause bombs to miss by hundreds of feet. Norden works obsessively. 16-hour days. 7-day weeks. His workshop fills with prototypes, rejected designs, precision-machined components. By 1923, he has a working prototype. The Mark III bombsight, Norden's first production model, undergoes Navy testing in 1924. The results are impressive by 1920 standards. Bombs land within 200 feet of target from 5,000 feet altitude. This is revolutionary accuracy for the era. But Norden isn't satisfied. 200 feet isn't good enough. He wants perfection measured in feet, not yards. For the next 7 years, Norden refines his design obsessively. The Mark 15 emerges in 1931. A masterpiece of mechanical engineering containing over 2,000 precision parts. 3 gyroscopes stabilize the sight against aircraft movement. A telescopic sight tracks the target. Mechanical computers calculate wind drift, altitude, airspeed, and bomb trajectory. The bombardier inputs data through dials and knobs, and the device computes the exact release point. Then it connects to the aircraft's autopilot, flying the plane automatically on the bombing run. The accuracy claims are stunning. In controlled testing at Dahlgren Proving Ground, bombardiers using the Mark 15 achieve 75-foot accuracy from 20,000 feet, dropping bombs into circles smaller than tennis courts from 4 miles up. The military tests generate a narrative that will define American bombing doctrine for a decade. Precision daylight bombing can destroy specific targets while minimizing civilian casualties. Army Air Corps generals embrace this vision enthusiastically. Instead of area bombing cities like the British, America will conduct surgical strikes against factories, refineries, railroads, the economic infrastructure sustaining enemy war machines. The Norden Bombsight makes this strategy possible. Or so they believe. The device becomes classified top secret in 1933. Security protocols reach absurd levels. Bombsights are stored in special vaults requiring 2-person access. Armed guards transport them from vaults to aircraft in locked containers covered with canvas bags. Bombardiers take oaths to destroy the bombsight rather than allow capture. Thermite grenades are installed inside each unit to melt the mechanism if necessary. The classification level matches atomic weapons development, another program that doesn't exist. WWII 1937, the secrecy reaches paranoid heights. Manufacturing occurs at Carl Norden Incorporated in New York under military guard. Workers require security clearances. Factory windows are painted black. Photography is forbidden. Even the company's location is classified. The military wants to prevent enemies from learning about America's secret weapon that can supposedly win wars through precision alone. But the security is failing in ways nobody realizes. In 1937, German intelligence officer Nikolaus Ritter recruits Hermann Lang, a naturalized American citizen working at Norden's factory. Lang is a draftsman with access to blueprints. Over 18 months, he photographs every technical drawing of the Mark 15 bombsight and passes them to German handlers. By 1939, German engineers have complete specifications for America's most guarded secret. The Germans study the plans carefully. Their conclusion is surprising. The device is impressive mechanically but militarily impractical. German engineers identify fundamental problems. The bombsight requires clear visibility of the target. Cloud cover makes it useless. Enemy fighters attacking during the bombing run disrupt the delicate stabilization. Anti-aircraft fire forces evasive maneuvers that throw off calculations. Most critically, the accuracy depends on controlled test conditions that combat will never provide. Germany decides not to replicate the design. Instead, they focus on dive bombers like the Stuka, which achieve accuracy through steep attack angles at close range. December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor. America enters World War II with strategic bombing doctrine built entirely around the Norden bombsight. The plan is elegant. B-17 flying fortresses and B-24 liberators will fly in daylight at high altitude, protected by defensive firepower. Norden-equipped bombardiers will destroy German war production with surgical precision. Factories will burn. Railroads will be severed. Oil refineries will explode. and German civilians will be largely spared because the bombing is accurate enough to hit military targets exclusively. It's a beautiful theory. Combat will reveal it as catastrophically optimistic. The first major test comes in August 1942. 12 B-17s attack the Rue-Sotteville marshalling yards in France. Weather is perfect. Fighter opposition is light. The bombardiers have ideal conditions, exactly what the Norden was designed for. Results: approximately 50% of bombs land within 1,000 feet of the aiming point. Not the promised 75 feet. Not even 200 feet. But 1,000 feet, roughly 3 football fields. The Army Air Forces explains this away as crew inexperience. More training will solve it. The second raid shows similar results. Then the third. By October 1942, statistical analysis reveals uncomfortable truth. Under combat conditions, even with the Norden Bombsight, average bombing accuracy is approximately 1,200 feet from the aiming point. The device that promised precision is delivering area bombardment. But the problems go deeper than accuracy. The Norden requires a straight, level bombing run lasting 60 to 90 seconds. During this time, the autopilot controls the aircraft, flying a predictable path toward the target. German fighters quickly learn to attack during these vulnerable moments. B-17s cannot take evasive action without breaking the bombsight stabilization. Crews face a horrific choice: maintain course and die from fighters, or evade and miss the target completely. German anti-aircraft gunners exploit the same vulnerability. Flak batteries calculate predictable bomber approach paths and saturate those air corridors with explosive shells. The bombers must fly straight through this curtain of metal because the Norden demands it. Casualties mount. By mid-1943, bomber loss rates on certain missions exceed 20%. Unsustainable attrition that threatens the entire daylight bombing campaign. The Schweinfurt-Regensburg raid of August 17, 1943 exposes every weakness. 376 B-17s attack German ball-bearing factories deep in southern Germany. The Norden Bombsight promises precision destruction of these critical targets. The reality: 60 bombers shot down, 600 airmen killed or captured. Of the bombs that hit Schweinfurt, only 20% land within 1,000 feet of target. German ball-bearing production drops 38% temporarily, then recovers within 6 weeks as dispersed production compensates. October 14, 1943. The second Schweinfurt raid becomes known as Black Thursday. 291 B-17s attack. 60 are shot down. 17 more are damaged beyond repair. 121 are damaged but salvageable. Total losses: 26% of the attacking force in a single mission. The Norden-equipped bombardiers achieve approximately 30% accuracy within the target zone, meaning 70% of bombs miss completely despite using the world's most sophisticated bombsight under maximum security. The statistics are devastating. Through 1943, 8th Air Force bomber crews achieve approximately 32% accuracy placing bombs within 1,000 feet of target under clear conditions. Winter 1943-44. The crisis forces a reckoning. The Norden Bombsight cannot deliver its promised precision under combat conditions. But abandoning daylight strategic bombing means admitting the entire doctrine was wrong. Billions of dollars have been spent. Thousands of airmen have died. The political and military establishment cannot accept that America's most guarded secret weapon is actually propaganda. So they adapt. If individual aircraft cannot achieve precision, perhaps massed formations can achieve adequate results through volume. New tactics emerge. Instead of single aircraft attacking specific buildings, entire bomb groups, 36 aircraft carrying 144 tons of bombs, attack target zones. The Norden bombsight's role shifts subtly. Instead of hitting a specific factory building, bombardiers aim for industrial complexes. Instead of destroying a bridge, they saturate the approaches. Instead of precision, they deliver concentrated area bombardment. The lead bombardier in each formation uses the Norden to identify the target zone. The other 35 aircraft in the formation toggle their bombs when they see the lead aircraft release. This bombing on the leader tactic acknowledges reality. Most bombardiers cannot achieve individual precision under combat conditions. But if 36 aircraft drop together, Statistical probability ensures some bombs hit the target area. Weather remains the insurmountable problem. The Norden requires visual contact with the target. Cloud cover over Germany averages 60 to 70% throughout the year. Entire missions abort because bombardiers cannot see targets through clouds. In 1943, approximately 40% of 8th Air Force missions are scrubbed or diverted due to weather. The bombers penetrate defended airspace, crews risk their lives reaching targets, then return without dropping ordnance because the precision bomb sight requires clear visibility. The solution arrives in 1944, H-2X radar bombing. British-developed radar systems can see through clouds, creating crude images of terrain below. The images are fuzzy. Cities appear as bright blobs, rivers as dark lines, but bombardiers can identify target zones without visual contact. The Norden Bombsight, once promoted as the weapon that would win the war through precision alone, becomes a backup system for when radar fails. By mid-1944, 8th Air Force policy explicitly accepts reduced accuracy in exchange for operational flexibility. Missions proceed regardless of weather using radar aiming. Post-strike photography reveals the results. Accuracy drops to approximately 2,000 feet average miss distance, nearly half a mile. But missions can fly, tonnage can be dropped, and the strategic bombing campaign continues despite weather that would have grounded Norden-dependent operations. The statistics tell the story of systematic failure. Of 1.4 million tons of bombs dropped by 8th Air Force on Germany, approximately 42% missed their target zones entirely. The remaining 58% that hit target areas include many bombs landing hundreds of feet from specific aim points. The precision bombing doctrine, built entirely around Norden bombsight capabilities, achieves accuracy levels barely better than area bombing. Yet something unexpected happens. Despite missing specific buildings, the concentrated tonnage achieves strategic effects. Rail networks become unusable not because specific bridges are destroyed with precision, but because so many bombs crater the approaches that repairs cannot keep pace. Oil refineries shut down not because Norden-aimed bombs hit critical distillation towers, but because massed formations saturate entire industrial complexes. German fighter production declines not from surgical strikes on assembly buildings, but from area bombardment of aircraft manufacturing centers. The Norden bombsight fails to deliver its promised precision, but the doctrine built around it, daylight bombing of industrial targets, succeeds through sheer volume. Meanwhile, the Pacific theater reveals where the Norden actually excels. Naval targets, stationary ships in harbors, moving vessels in open ocean, island installations with clear approach paths. Here, the bombsight's precision capabilities find genuine application. Clear tropical skies provide the visibility the Norden demands. Reduced fighter opposition allows uninterrupted bombing runs. Lower altitudes improve accuracy. April 18, 1943. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, architect of Pearl Harbor, flies aboard a transport aircraft from Rebel. American codebreakers intercept his itinerary. P-38 fighters intercept the flight and shoot down Yamamoto's plane in a mission enabled by intelligence. But the attack concept validates precision targeting. When you know exactly where the enemy will be, precision weapons deliver results. June 1944. The Mariana Islands Campaign. B-29 superfortresses equipped with Norden bombsights begin attacking Japanese industrial targets from bases in Saipan, Tinian, and Guam. Initial missions follow European doctrine. Daylight precision bombing from 25,000 to 30,000 feet. Results mirror European experience. 25% of bombs land within 1,000 feet of target. Japanese fighter opposition is intense. Loss rates approach 10% per mission. General Curtis LeMay takes command of XXI Bomber Command in January 1945 and makes a radical decision. He strips the B-29s of defensive guns, reduces altitude to 5,000 to 8,000 feet, switches to night operations, and replaces precision bombs with incendiaries. The Norden bombsights are retained but used for area targeting rather than specific buildings. The results are devastating. Tokyo firebombing of March 9 to 10, 1945 kills approximately 100,000 civilians and destroys 16 square miles of urban area. LeMay's decision explicitly rejects the precision bombing doctrine that justified the Norden's existence. When he's asked about abandoning daylight precision tactics, his response is cold pragmatism. "I'm not interested in accuracy. I'm interested in burning down Japanese cities until they surrender." The Norden Bombsight, designed for surgical strikes, becomes a tool for area bombardment. Yet in this role, it succeeds. Post-war analysis shows that low-altitude incendiary raids achieve far greater strategic impact than high-altitude precision bombing ever did. By August 1945, 60 Japanese cities have been systematically destroyed. Industrial production drops 90%. Food distribution collapses. The Norden Bombsight didn't deliver the precision it promised, but the strategic bombing campaign achieves its goal. Japan's capacity to wage war is eliminated. The disconnect between promise and performance becomes clear in post-war studies. The United States Strategic Bombing Survey, conducted immediately after victory, analyzes every bombing mission of the war. The conclusions are damning for precision bombing advocates. Average bombing accuracy in Europe: 1,200 feet under clear conditions, 2,400 feet under instrument conditions. Less than 20% of bombs dropped on Germany hit within 1,000 feet of their aim points. The Norden Bombsight, which promised 75-foot accuracy, delivered performance barely better than unguided area bombing. German industrial production continued increasing until mid-1944 despite years of strategic bombing, collapsing only when Allied ground forces captured production regions. But the bombing survey also reveals something unexpected. While the Norden failed to deliver tactical precision, it succeeded strategically. The threat of precision bombing forced Germany to disperse industry, diverting resources into camouflage, decoys, and underground factories. German fighter production focused on defense rather than ground attack aircraft. Hundreds of thousands of workers and soldiers were assigned to air defense rather than frontline combat. The mere possibility that American bombers might achieve accuracy altered German strategic calculations. This is the Norden's paradox. It failed as a precision instrument but succeeded as a strategic weapon through the threat it represented. German planners could not know that Norden-equipped bombers routinely missed by hundreds of feet. They had to assume American claims of precision were accurate and defend accordingly. This defensive posture consumed resources Germany desperately needed elsewhere. Carl Norden never accepts that his device underperformed. In interviews after the war, he insists the bombsight worked perfectly. Crew training and combat conditions were the problems. He's partially correct. In controlled testing, skilled bombardiers achieve remarkable accuracy. But war doesn't provide controlled conditions. War provides clouds, fighters, flak, fear, and exhaustion. The Norden was optimized for perfection that combat never allowed. Post-war, the military declassifies the Norden in 1945, immediately making the most guarded secret worthless. Thousands of bombsights sit in storage. Some go to museums. Many are scrapped. The security apparatus that protected them, armed guards, vaults, thermite grenades, disappears overnight. The device that required top-secret clearance becomes surplus equipment sold to collectors. But the legacy endures in unexpected ways. The Norden Bombsight represents the first successful integration of computing, optics, and automatic control in aerial weapons. Its stabilized platform technology influences post-war guided missile development. Its gyroscopes inform inertial navigation systems. Its approach to compensating for variables wind, altitude, speed becomes foundational to modern ballistic computers. When the U.S. Air Force develops the Snark cruise missile in the 1950s, engineers study Norden's work on automated navigation. When precision-guided munitions emerge in the 1960s, they trace lineage to Norden's vision of accuracy through computation. The laser-guided bombs that revolutionize warfare in Vietnam inherit the basic concept: calculate variables precisely, adjust for conditions, deliver weapons accurately. Modern GPS-guided weapons, dams that achieve 5-meter accuracy from 40,000 feet, finally fulfill the promise Norden made in 1923. But they do it with satellite navigation, inertial guidance, and digital computers, not mechanical gears and gyroscopes. The technology changed completely. The vision remained. Today, Air Force bombardiers train on touchscreen computers displaying synthetic targets. The calculations Norden's 2,000 moving parts performed in 90 seconds now happen in microseconds. But the fundamental problem remains identical. An aircraft moving in 3 dimensions must deliver a weapon falling through varying conditions to hit a specific target. Norden understood this problem better than anyone in 1920. His solution was limited by the technology available. Modern solutions use satellites and silicon, but solve the same equations. The Norden bombsight's true impact becomes clear when examining what it taught rather than what it achieved. The device forced military planners to confront fundamental questions about precision warfare. Can technology eliminate human error? Can controlled testing predict combat performance? Can strategic doctrine be built around theoretical capabilities? The answers World War II provided were sobering. Technology amplifies capabilities but cannot eliminate human factors. Testing provides guidance but combat reveals truth. Doctrine must be flexible enough to adapt when reality contradicts theory. These lessons, learned painfully through thousands of bomber missions and tens of thousands of casualties, shaped post-war military thinking more profoundly than the Norden's actual accuracy ever could. The Korean War demonstrates the evolution. B-29 bombers, still equipped with Norden bombsights, attack North Korean targets using tactics learned from World War II failure. No more promises of pickle barrel accuracy. No more surgical strikes on individual buildings. Instead, massed formations, area targeting, radar backup, acceptance that precision is relative. The Norden serves competently in this role, but nobody claims it's revolutionary. Vietnam brings the next transformation. Laser-guided bombs, smart bombs, finally achieve the accuracy Norden promised. A paveway laser-guided bomb can hit within 10 feet of a target marked by ground spotters or aircraft. The Tan Hoa Bridge, which survived 800 sorties and 11 pilots killed, trying to destroy it with conventional bombing, falls to 14 laser-guided bombs in 1972. This is the precision Norden envisioned but could never deliver with 1920s technology. Desert Storm in 1991 showcases the full realization of precision bombing doctrine. GPS-guided dams, laser designators, stealth aircraft, and satellite reconnaissance enable strikes that hit specific buildings in Baghdad while leaving adjacent structures untouched. CNN broadcasts video of bombs entering specific windows. This is what Norden's publicity promised in 1940, and what technology finally achieves 50 years later. But even modern precision weapons cannot eliminate the fundamental challenges Norden identified. Weather still degrades laser guidance. Cloud cover blocks optical targeting. Enemy countermeasures jam GPS signals. Combat stress affects operator performance. The difference is that modern systems compensate with backup modes, whereas the Norden simply failed when conditions weren't optimal. Carl Norden dies in 1965, age 84, largely forgotten outside engineering circles. His obituaries mention the bombsight briefly, focusing more on his naval fire control innovations. He never achieved the recognition of contemporaries like Robert Goddard or Igor Sikorsky. His name doesn't appear in standard World War II histories. Most accounts of strategic bombing mention the device but not its inventor. Yet his influence persists invisibly. Every targeting computer calculating ballistic trajectories uses principles Norden pioneered. Every stabilized weapons platform traces lineage to his gyroscopic designs. Every precision-guided munition descends from his vision that accurate delivery requires automated computation. The Norden bombsight failed its wartime test, but it succeeded as proof of concept for every precision weapon that followed. The production numbers tell their own story. Approximately 90,000 Norden bombsights were manufactured during World War II at costs reaching $8,000 per unit, equivalent to $140,000 in 2025 dollars. Total program cost exceeded $1.5 billion, comparable to Manhattan Project spending. This massive investment purchased bombing accuracy barely superior to area bombardment techniques. By strict cost-effectiveness analysis, the Norden was perhaps the most expensive failure in military procurement history. Yet to call the Norden bombsight a failure misses the larger truth. Military technology rarely succeeds exactly as promised. The value lies in what it teaches, what it forces adversaries to counter, and what it inspires afterward. By these measures, the Norden succeeded profoundly despite its tactical shortcomings. Consider what the device accomplished beyond accuracy. It forced standardization of bombing procedures across thousands of aircrews. It introduced systematic computational approaches to ballistics. It demonstrated that automated systems could reliably control aircraft during critical mission phases. It proved that precision was theoretically achievable even when practice fell short. These contributions shaped military aviation development for decades. The German response validates the Norden's strategic impact. Despite stealing complete specifications in 1937, Germany invested heavily in countering precision daylight bombing. They dispersed industry, built underground factories, assigned 900,000 workers to air defense, and diverted fighter production from ground attack to interception. These decisions, driven by fear of precision bombing that rarely materialized, weakened Germany's overall war effort significantly. The human cost cannot be ignored. American strategic bombing killed approximately 400,000 German civilians and 300,000 Japanese civilians. The Norden Bombsight, promoted as technology that would enable surgical strikes on military targets, instead enabled area bombardment disguised as precision. This moral dimension complicates any assessment. The device promised to make war more humane through accuracy but contributed to making it more destructive through mass production. Historians remain divided. Some view the Norden as visionary technology limited by era constraints. Others see it as engineering hubris, attempting perfection when good enough would have sufficed at far lower cost. Both perspectives hold truth. Norden's mechanical computer was genuinely revolutionary for 1930. His accuracy claims were genuinely unrealistic for combat conditions. The final irony. The Norden Bombsight achieved its greatest success by failing publicly enough to drive development of better solutions. The gap between promise and performance motivated radar bombing, guided weapons, and eventually satellite navigation. If the Norden had worked as advertised, military planners might have stopped innovating. Its visible limitations forced continued advancement. Today, a B-2 stealth bomber can drop GPS-guided dams from 40,000 feet in any weather, day or night, and hit within 5 meters of target. This is the vision Carl Norden pursued in 1920: precision through computation, automated targeting, surgical strikes. The tools changed completely. Satellite navigation replaced gyroscopes, digital processors replaced mechanical computers, laser and GPS replaced optical sights. But the goal remained identical. When F-35 pilots designate targets with helmet displays and release weapons that autonomously navigate to aim points, they're fulfilling Norden's dream using technology he could never have imagined. When drone operators in Nevada guide missiles to specific building windows in Yemen, they're achieving the pickle barrel accuracy Norden promised but couldn't deliver. The Norden Bombsight was simultaneously America's most overhyped weapon and its most influential failure. Promised precision it couldn't achieve. It cost billions for marginal accuracy improvements. It was stolen by Germany and dismissed as impractical. It was classified top secret, then revealed to be less revolutionary than advertised. Yet it transformed aerial warfare by proving precision was theoretically possible and showing exactly what was needed to achieve it. Carl Norden's legacy isn't the device itself. Those 90,000 bombsights are museum pieces now. His legacy is the persistent belief that warfare can be made precise through technology, that civilians can be spared through accurate targeting, and that engineering can solve military problems. These beliefs drive modern weapon development despite World War II proving they're harder to achieve than theory suggests.